So I know we're in a bear market, but per the macro, why do you think all of the largest custodian banks in the world with trillions of dollars assets under management are so darn interested in controlling the picks and shovels and having their own trading desk? Why do you think the SEC is going after different exchanges in lawsuits and enforcements? It seems like a power play. Hey, what's up guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. We're going to dive into XRP, HBAR, and Casper in this one. Alrighty, hope everybody's doing well, and we have a bunch to get into today. So first up, we have some big news from Hedera. Over 9 billion transactions have been made over mainnet. And in the last 13 days, 1 billion of those 9 billion transactions were made. So this is absolutely massive because this is not speculative transactions being made. Last we checked, the majority of these 9 billion transactions that are being made is from one single partner. So this is one single enterprise use case with atma.io, as we can see right here. This is tracking over 22 billion real-world items connected to the cloud today. We can see over 300 plus new items are added per second with over 5,000 plus global factory participants. And this is providing end-to-end transparency by tracking, storing, and managing all the events associated with each product. So this is something to keep an eye on. Avery Dennison is the company and the product is atma.io. With their Fortune 500 global footprint, we can also see RFID, radio frequency identifiers, we have digital IDs, and Avery Dennison is now able to provide a smart one-stop shop connecting the physical and digital worlds through a suite of tech and labeling products. And by leveraging the Hedera consensus service, atma.io will deliver immutable verifiability of provenance for products within their customers' supply chains. So of course the narrative is carbon accounting and reduction. I'm not a huge fan of that by any means, but we can see product authenticity with Hedera. We have Hederian right here. Since Atma went live just over 4 months ago, the Hedera mainnet has processed over 6.3 billion real-world transactions, and we're at over 9 billion today. So the majority is Atma, which is one single partner. With new use cases continually starting, we have seen TPS climb and stay above 1,000. We also have crypto investor. Hedera is outperforming every other platform in existence right now in terms of actual transactions being recorded on their mainnet. And this is with only one enterprise use case. It may be more now. Imagine when thousands of companies are transacting on Hedera. And I mean, just looking at hederatransactions.com, this is one partner. Even if it's not 1,000 use cases, let's just imagine another dozen companies or the entire governing council on Hedera. It is absolutely massive. And now we're on dragonglass.com. We're going to scroll down to transaction volume just to get a better idea of how big this really is and why this year in particular we saw transactions skyrocket on Hedera's mainnet. So even over the past year, we can go back to May of last year and just look at these numbers. So we went from right here in May, 25 million transactions, and the biggest month we've had has been April thus far, just under 2 billion. And now just to quickly ramble because there's tons of information to go over. So we have to realize that Hedera right now has over 9 billion transactions on their mainnet. This is more transactions than the entire Ethereum network. Now a while back when the CEO of Casper Labs, who also helped fund Hedera back in the day, he went on to say that if Casper gets one single enterprise use case, they'll have more transactions than the entire Ethereum network. And people thought that was silly, but Hedera has already done it. Now, I'm not happy about current price for Hedera, XRP, Casper, etc., but this is computation coming on the network, and this is a positive thing. And when there's more companies, applications transacting on the network providing computation like we're seeing with this one atma.io use case, big things can happen for a utility network. So I know this bear market has been absolutely brutal, but XRP, HBAR, and Casper continue to be my biggest holdings. I know they're not meme coins, I know they're not the smallest cap assets, but I'm significantly less worried holding these assets rather than some volatile meme coin that might not be here tomorrow. And I'm sure there's a lot more use cases on Hedera on the way. Just remember Aberdeen worth over $500 billion in assets, so AUM, and they're using Hedera right now to tokenize money market accounts and then real estate funds in the future. And just regarding Ethereum, like, yeah, it has some enterprise use cases, but the TPS isn't there. It can't keep up with Hedera. It cannot keep up with DAG-like technology that has significantly higher amounts of scalability. And Hedera built this technology with high scalability in mind. They need high throughput at extremely low cost, virtually zero cost. In Ethereum, even after this ETH 2.0 update, it just can't handle it. Now, I think Ethereum's here to stay. You know, I do believe long-term Bitcoin can hit 100K, and I still believe ETH can do very well. Remember last bull run, it hit $500 billion market cap. Could it hit a $1 trillion market cap, just like Bitcoin did in the past? Absolutely. But I just believe there's going to be significantly higher ROI in other altcoins, such as HBAR. Even though people might not believe it because they're looking at market cap, we can look at the past. We can look at Doge's previous market cap, which might be silly to some. We can look at ADA's previous market cap. Remember last bull run when ADA hit $3.10 as an all-time high? Its circulating supply was 32 billion. So HBAR is still under that. So ADA was able to hit $3 with a strong community and a lot of things going for it, but still not true utility at scale. HBAR is still building and we're at 5 cents. So if ADA did it, could HBAR theoretically reach $1, $3, $5? Yes, I personally believe so. That is not financial advice. And in saying that, I also believe that Casper could have a higher ROI because of current market cap versus HBAR as well. So I mean, if Casper simply had the same market cap as HBAR, that's still another 3x. So Casper does have more upside, but HBAR, in my opinion, is further established and they already have so many transactions on their mainnet. Now, the good thing about Casper as well is since the transactions aren't there and we really don't have that many holders, let alone accounts compared to HBAR, there could be a lot more upside as well. They're not on tier 1 exchanges. So Casper for me is more of that lower cap enterprise hold. I know there's, small caps you can go after, but I'm just much more interested in something that has dozens of millions of dollars of funding. I see the roadmap. I see their next funding rounds for like 2025, 2026. I just believe that Casper and HBAR are going to be here over the coming years, no matter how bad it gets. And yes, I do believe there's going to be future bull runs. Okay, so we went over Atmo, we went over Aberdeen. Remember, we're at 25 million, now we're at 9 billion. And just remember that 1 trillion transactions on mainnet is not as crazy as that sounds. I know it sounds ridiculous, but 1 trillion is 1,000 billion, and we're at 9. So I do believe that we hit $1 trillion transactions on mainnet on Hedera in the future with more partners. So do I personally believe that HBAR can create a new all-time high price at some point in the future? Absolutely. We also have some news shared by Hedera. We chose to build on Hedera because its speed, security, and transparency were essential to our vision of democratizing access to diamonds as an asset class. Hedera will enable Diamond Standard to offer investors unprecedented transparency and liquidity. And remember, they were working with Digital Commodities Exchange as well, Hedera, for fraud mitigation. So that's just another enterprise use case leveraging Hedera. No, I'm not happy with current prices in a bear market for a variety of altcoins, but what I can tell you is that Hedera is legitimate and they're building real solutions. And that's a lot more than I can say about a variety of other projects that may not be as legitimate. Maybe they have some good price action, but I believe that Hedera is a monster. So Diamond Standard right here, total diamond supply for investment, 1.2 trillion. We have 50 million US dollars as assets currently trading on Hedera. That's pretty good. We also have $2.5 million in Hedera tokenized diamonds trading volume. So this is another example of tokenized assets trading on top of Hedera Hashgraph, and this is one type of asset, so imagine other types of assets and asset classes. So if you'd like to learn more about this, you can type in Hedera Diamond Standard, and even HBAR to the moon right here, just talking about gold tokenization next and anything in between. You have to understand that Hedera right now does have a head start or first mover advantage versus a lot of other L1s in terms of tokenization. And remember the stats in terms of globally illiquid assets. BCG, Boston Consultancy Group, estimated by 2030 it could be $16 trillion to as high as 68 trillion. I know that sounds absolutely insane. So when you're looking at that and just imagining, 1% or even 0.5% of that value, that would be incredible. And I believe first mover advantage is very important because you want to act like that black hole for liquidity, just as the XRP ledger is acting as a black hole for payments. All right, we have Anders L pointing out right here, NASDAQ set to launch crypto custody services by end of June. Now, this was shared a while back, but he's actually retweeting from Watcher Guru, US governments to crack down on crypto exchanges. So it's very obvious what is happening. There are massive FUD campaigns going against crypto, and basically all the big boys, Goldman Sachs, all the massive banks want to own the infrastructure. They want to own the picks and shovels so they can control it, especially with on and off ramps and liquidity. So remember, the world's largest banks and custodians are and they've all come out with news about creating or launching crypto trading desks for digital assets. So BNY, assets under custody, we're just talking trillions. You have Fidelity, Charles Schwab, 7 trillion. State Street with State Street Digital Assets, 4 trillion. Just the world's largest custodians looking at crypto custody service and saying they have plans to launch. So I know we're in a bear market, but per the macro, why do you think all of the largest custodian banks in the world with trillions of dollars assets under management are so darn interested in controlling the picks and shovels and having their own trading desk? Why do you think the SEC is going after different exchanges and lawsuits and enforcements? It seems like a power play. We have Quant Daddy right here. Funny, we always think we're late in crypto, but in the grand scheme of things, we're so early. And per the metrics of tokenization of assets for all of these huge custodians opening trading desks, I agree. We don't even have regulatory clarity in the US. Until then, the floodgates just don't open. I believe we have at least 2 more solid bull runs left to make generational wealth, and I believe that as well. I know there's going to be diminishing returns, but there's still opportunity in an asset class that's only around 1 trillion, when other asset classes respectively are 100 times larger, even commodities 19 trillion, real estate 300 trillion, derivatives hundreds of trillions of dollars if not more. I mean, we can see bonds, everything in between. There is so much money, and all of this, and then adding globally illiquid assets and new markets that have yet to be tokenized, including intellectual property on Casper, we're talking billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars. And actually trillions of dollars, because as they shared, intellectual property, IP, and patents account for 30% of the entire market value for the S&P 500. So if the S&P 500 is valued at 30 trillion, give or take, 30% of that, that's another 10 trillion right there in IP that's going to be tokenized and traded. So that's more computation on a variety of crypto networks, and I know Casper will be taking advantage of that. And as we shared in a previous video clip, I think it was the president of IPWE talking with, IBM and Casper in that YouTube video, and he basically said he believes Casper will be the chain of intangible assets for keeping record, which is huge. So just like the BCG estimates, 16 to 68 trillion. So we have some new announcements from Casper. We have CSPR.market, the new go-to NFT marketplace for Casper Network. This will launch with multiple top-tier NFT projects offering unique utility. More details on the launch soon. So we can keep tabs on CSPR.live, and just remember you can come up to the top left. We can see the Block Explorer, the Casper Wallet. You have Casper Studio in beta for launching NFTs. We have Casper Cloud. We have Casper Name to get your own blockchain domain, and then Casper Market, which will be the official, NFT marketplace. And notice they say in-game items, digital arts, Casper names, and intellectual property. So I wanted to take a poll to gauge crypto Twitter sentiment in terms of Bitcoin reaching an all-time high price. So the all-time high right around 69,000. So which year will Bitcoin create an all-time high price? I said 2023, 2024, or 2025 and beyond, or never. We can see that 39.5%, the majority are voting that it's going to be 2025 or after. So the majority think we have a long way to go. We can see the minority right here at 14.4% think this year. And the other smallest right here at 15.1% think never. Only time will tell, and this year is almost halfway over. Next up, we have shared by Ripple. So corporate treasuries face many challenges in managing cross-border capital flows, particularly in complex regions. We actually went over this report in a previous video, but just to look at the hundreds of billions of dollars right here in fund capital flows. So India, Mexico, Brazil. Notice the company Ripple and RippleNet has a very heavy presence in all 3 of these countries, India, Mexico, and Brazil. I know the Bank for International Settlements, which is essentially the central bank of all central banks right here, is discussing this project called Project Polaris. So it's always interesting and not financial advice, but I did want to share this by Anders. Just pointing out some old comments from Bearable Guide. The oldest meaning of lodestar refers to the North Star, Polestar, or Polaris. We also have Crypto Eddie sharing this report of Project Polaris. Transacting offline still needs to be solved. Entering Project Polaris. And what's interesting is right here, we have Chris sharing a screenshot, and what do we see? We have Anthony Ralphs, Director of Product Management, CBDC, Ripple. We also have Anthony Welfare, Senior Advisor for Central Bank Digital Currencies and Global Partnerships of Ripple. Very interesting, as always, we have Ripple Consulting, the BIS, the central bank of all central banks. And last but not least, shared by Matthew Liny. This guy's a must follow if you do hold XRP, a great researcher. And we can see Ripple the company and GBC Korea collaborate to shape a blockchain ecosystem in Korea. XRP will be one of the potential payment tokens. Let's take a look. We can see under virtual currencies for payment tokens, examples include Bitcoin, XRP, Ether. So right there for XRP, enabling faster and more efficient transfers. We have Bitcoin or Litecoin, a digital store of value. We have stablecoins that are pegged to stable reserve assets, whether it's other currencies or baskets of crypto, anything else that can be collateralized. We have Filecoin providing users with exclusive access to a product or service, so a utility token. So Filecoin is huge in terms of data storage. And then we have Ethereum and Solana under smart contract platforms. So we can see GBC, Ripple, and Oxford Metrica. You can see XRP mentioned with offices in San Francisco, Washington, DC, New York, London, Mumbai, Singapore, literally everywhere. And here we can see the blockchain digital assets capital markets ecosystem architecture. So we can see up here, institutional investors plug into the SPC acquisition vehicle. You can see flowing to the stock exchange and target companies. And then right here, you have GBC. So we have crypto exchange, payment solutions, etc. And then also retail investors will have access to GBC. And GBC Korea is a blockchain company that developed GMAP, the world's first ever mergers and acquisitions platform that allows everyone, including small cap retail investors, to participate in mergers and acquisitions through the utilization of its proprietary cryptocurrency UCX. But alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Huge thanks to all that like and sub. Links are in the video description, and I will catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.